a severe weather alert.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Brandon Woolley here in the 2 News Weather Center, breaking into program because we have a dangerous situation out there right now. We have a brand new tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service around Warner, out towards the Gore area and off towards the south. That does include the Porham area. So if we inspect this storm even closer, we can see the tight rotation included within that storm. And so if we take a look at the shear rate, this is what we're looking at right here. So this is from the National Weather Service Doppler radar site in Inola. If we use the Fort Smith one, we can see kind of a different angle of that rotation between Warner and Porham, crossing right over the roadway there just south of Interstate 40. So again, we have this tornado warning issued by the Weather Service until 4:30. So that is that tight rotation there between Warner and Porham, moving off towards the northeast. So if we get a calculation of the speed of which it's moving, it looks like it's moving east at around 15 miles per hour. And the location is 3 miles to the north of Porham. So we were kind of really watching this over the past couple of minutes, and we knew that it would probably turn tornadic as we got the successive scans that were coming in off the radar site. So again, a brand new tornado warning from the Weather Service between Warner and Porham, and just off towards the south and off towards the east. So we'll be watching this over the next couple of minutes to see what it does. So here's the radar site from Inola, and this one here is from the Fort Smith radar site. So the rotation is completely buried within the rain and the hail core of the system. So you can see the hail between just south of Interstate 40 and around the Warner area. So we have not only damaging gusty wind concerns in this area, but also very large hailstones and the chance for a tornado within this storm. So again, this is a very dangerous situation. We not only have this severe thunderstorm warning right here with this polygon that's indicating that severe thunderstorm warning off towards the northeast. That does include the Gore area, but also this tornado warning. So again, it's moving off towards the east at between 5 and 10 miles per hour. So the new update, the scan coming in off the radar site. So this is what we're concerned about. And this is kind of a little shear marker right there. And if I circle that, you can see that's exactly what we're concerned about right there. So that little red box does indicate some rotation. So there's the shear, and then co-located with that is that little red box. So that's not good news there. Again, just north of Porham, it looks like it's about 5 miles north of Porham and to the south of Warner. We'll get that cleared out and do another measuring tool. So about 5 miles on either side. So south of Warner and to the north of Porham, about 5 miles the center of that circulation. So right about there, if we get down to the street level view. Let's check in with the Weather Service if they do have any other updates. Yeah, the storm in southern Muskogee County is very complex, but the northernmost circulation has tightened between Porham and Warner. So that's what we've been talking about. So this goes until about 4:30, so about the next 28 minutes. So we're going to have to really carefully watch this. So there's a new update coming in. So now the most amount of rotation looks like it's skipped just to the east of Porham. Taking a look at velocity. So that's kind of what we're concerned about right here when we have the reds and the greens really tight. So that gives us some say of what is going on within the scans here. So just a few miles to the east of Porham, this is where we have some circulation, but it looks like we could have a little bit of circulation still to the north of Porham as well. But these are some of the brighter values coming in of the greens. And so again, the greens and the reds really close. So we have one area of circulation there and probably a secondary one just to the north of Porham. So again, if you're just tuning in right now, we had to break in the programming. Anytime we have a tornado warning, we have to break into programming no matter where it is in our viewing area. So this one right here, a little bit of circulation there. And then this one here is off towards the south to the east of Porham. Looks like they just tightened up the circulation parameter here. And so if I go back just a few minutes, you can see the box there of the tornado warning. Now they have really condensed it just to this area here. So we're probably more concerned about this area of circulation with the reds and the greens really tight, close to each other. So zooming out, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning that does include Muskogee County, also McIntosh County, but then here the tornado warning is exclusively for Muskogee County. So again, the severe thunderstorm warning, Muskogee, McIntosh, but within that severe thunderstorm warning, we do have that tornado warning. So it looks like the biggest part of the circulation now is just to the southeast of Warner. So about 5 to 6 miles. And again, it's pushing off towards the east between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. It looks like we're getting some word from the emergency manager in Warner. It looks like Warner activated the shelter is open. So if people need to take shelter, it looks like we have the shelter open in Warner. Even though it looks like the center of circulation is passing just to the south of Warner. So if I take it back over the past couple of minutes, you can see there we had it there at 3:55, and then we go in throughout time, and then it just moved, maybe between a half mile and a mile. So we have about 3 miles there of distance within the past about 5 to 10, 15 minutes. The shear rate looks like dropped a little bit off towards the south, but again, we're looking at two different radar sites. It's not as pronounced with the Inola radar site, but the Fort Smith radar site, which is a little further away, is a little bit more pronounced. But now we're starting to see that red go away. So we went from strong rotation to weak rotation, but still we carry that tornado warning, which does include Warner, not so much Porham anymore, but around Warner and just off towards the south and east. So if you're watching us right now and, for example, Weber's Falls in the Gore area, make sure to take your tornado precautions because this could be on the way fairly soon. So again, we're really watching this over the next couple of scans to see what goes on. But again, Weber's Falls and Gore, if you are tuning in to 2 News right now, make sure to take your tornado precautions because it only takes a few minutes for this to lift off towards the northeast. Again, it's moving at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So if we do see all of this come true here in the next couple of minutes, this is basically going to be from here and then on up towards the east-northeast. So we're just going to have to get some more scans in to see what happens with that center of circulation. So again, we've been watching this over the past about 10 to 15 minutes. I was starting to get really concerned about it, and then they pulled the trigger on the tornado warning. So an update from the Weather Service. We're just monitoring their chat room. It looks like, as I zoom out just a little bit there, that the circulation continues southwest of Weber's Falls, and it is a bit weaker as we discussed just a few minutes ago. So just to the southwest of Weber's Falls, there's Weber's Falls right there. Gore is technically out of the tornado warning, but Weber's Falls is included in the tornado warning. So for that to continue, this will have to get a little bit stronger possibly, but it's in its weaker phase. So we're going to have to see if they extend this beyond 4:30, so about the next 25 minutes. So the shear rate is there. The base velocity, we're just seeing kind of a very broad area of rotation. Here is kind of what we're concerned about right there. And then different velocity products still shows the reds and the greens really tightly packed. Not super tight like we would see in a springtime to early summer situation, but tight enough that we are seeing that rotation on radar that could possibly produce a tornado. Nothing has been confirmed as of now. If we do see a confirmation, that will be a confirmed tornado warning. But as of now, let's see, I'm getting some updates here. Looks like they're going to do another tornado, a severe thunderstorm warning. So we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings there in the yellow polygons, and then encompassed within those 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, we have that tornado warning ongoing. So the most dangerous part of this line is off towards the south. So just look at the expansion of this, and we saw this coming in maybe 2 hours ago. It hit Tulsa and moved on through, but it's always been the southern end of this line that we've been concerned about, that we've been seeing some rotation on the southern end of this line. So as we take it back for the past 2 hours, so there it is going through almost Tulsa at 2:20, and then it continued to move off towards the northeast. A lot of severe activity on the southern end of that line. And then we saw that rotation really torque up along the Interstate 40 corridor. So again, if you're just tuning in right now, we have this tornado warning for only Muskogee County until 4:30. So about the next 20 minutes. Looking at some new products here, it looks like the rotation is there, albeit it is weaker. We're inspecting the storm from the Fort Smith radar site, also the Weather Service radar site in Inola. So we're kind of cross-cutting it from the north, from Inola, and cross-cutting it in from the east. And so sampling it from 2 separate radar sites, since the storm is so far away from both of those sites. The base velocity does show that the reds and the greens are very tightly packed right now. We got a lot of hail, of course, down there as well. Some very large hailstones. We're seeing those possibly upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So not only are we dealing with very gusty winds, we're dealing with large hail and also the chance for a tornado in the area. This other product here does show that the reflectivity, so the rotation is tightly wound up inside all of that hail and all of that rain. So probably not going to be able to see anything that comes down, completely rain wrapped. The circulation in southern Muskogee County is cycling. The new updraft is northeast of Porham, and so we're starting to see that to kind of slip off towards the south just a little bit towards the Porham area. So if we take Doppler into motion over the past 15 minutes, we've seen that kind of drift off towards the south just a little bit. So it is in its cycling phase right now. The original circulation does look a little bit less organized right now southwest of Weber's Falls. So there's the base velocity there, and so we're seeing that rotation, the original rotation just to the southeast of Warner is a little bit less now of a factor. Now we're kind of more concentrated just to the east of Porham. So there is the shear right there. So if you're just tuning in right now, we are tracking this tornado warning for only Muskogee County until 4:30. We'll have to see if they extend this a little bit further off towards the east-southeast, but so far it is just a little bit weaker in that rotation phase right now. So it's dropping off towards the south. So there it is right there, just to the east of Porham. And again, it's kind of moving away from the Warner area. But again, all eyes are off towards the east. So looks like they just dropped that tornado warning. So again, as we've been saying over the past couple of minutes, it definitely weakened with a few of those radar scans. Now we're just left with 2 separate severe thunderstorm warnings around Warner, up towards Gore, and Vian, Interstate 40, all included Tamaha down towards Garland and Red Hills.
To the east, at a pretty good little clip here, and moving generally towards the area of Salisaw. It's pretty far from that, but if it holds together, that's the general direction that it is moving. So Once again, it's moving east. There's a path. Weber's Falls and Gore would be on the far northern end of this area of concern. So probably right now would move south of those communities, but at least make sure you're indoors in a place where you will be able to get to cover should that move your direction. And then eventually, as we head towards 4:30, once again, that'll be moving kind of near those areas. Fortunately, this last scan, it looks like that may have opened up just a little bit. Still definitely showing a rotation feature there between Gore and Porum, but it looks like it may have opened up just a bit. Vaughn's getting pretty close to that. Once again, Vaughn will definitely need to make sure that we're vigilant as we watch, because that will likely be rain wrapped. If we could go back to Vaughn's video. Vaughn, what are you seeing as you get a little bit closer to that? Vaughn, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So far, the winds are not too bad right here where I am. Like you said, I'm probably just to the north, maybe to my southwest, just a hair. So I'm closing on it pretty good. I should be able to see some wind if it's pretty short.
Okay. Well, we'll continue to watch that, and we'll go back to radar and take a look at what's going on. Once again, guys, tornado warning here for areas around Porum and Warner. That area has moved just off to the east of Highway 2. Once again, there where those greens and those reds come together is the area we're most concerned about. Once again, Vaughn, he's moving right in on that. And that storm has really wound up here over the past 20 minutes. We started seeing that feature really pop up. And then right in here is kind of the area of concern. And notice it's just surrounded by a lot of heavy rain. Lightning intensities have come up. If there's something going on, Vaughn would basically be able to see it, because it's coming right on top about where Vaughn is as he moves in on that area. The cell reception in that area is a bit dodgy, but his video is still showing that he's just seeing a lot of heavy rain currently as I kind of look up at the monitor. And this is once again moving eastward. So Vian, anyone that lives around the western end of Kerr Reservoir, just make sure that you're starting to think about your precautions and taking shelter as this storm moves eastward towards those areas. And eventually, if it holds together, it'll move towards Sallisaw. That's a long ways. We'll see if it holds together, but we're here watching it just in case it does. And they are going to continue the tornado warning. The hail sizes in this have come down as that moves eastward. Let's go back to Vaughn's video and see if he's in a spot where he's able to, oh, good grief, that's some really heavy rain. Vaughn, it looks like the rain's really picked up in your area, and I also see some small hail there on your windshield.
Yeah, I'm starting to get some really strong winds. Right now I've got 53-mile-an-hour winds. There's pretty big hail, too. I just had a big hail hit me. Coming from the south. Yeah, this wind is screaming from the south, up to 60 now. So I am right in that area of rotation. I'm not seeing any kind of debris flying around at all yet, but we're gonna stay right here. Then I'm gonna follow it back to the north. Winds have now switched around to the southeast. So that's area of rotation. Now they're the east. So that area of rotation has just crossed over me right here on Ross Road, south of I-40. So yeah, we're gonna turn around here real quickly and catch back up to it.
All right, I appreciate it. We'll let him get resituated, but you can see pretty intense storm there. A lot of hail falling. They just adjusted the warning polygon, and there's that area of rotation. The radar shows it about a mile west of where Vaughn is. So Vaughn, once again, just be careful. But with the movement of this, that may be more right on top of Vaughn. As Vaughn explained how the winds changed direction as that moved over top of him, that would explain that rotation area probably went right over the top of Vaughn's location. So he's in a good vantage point. Hopefully he's able to stay safe there as we continue to watch his video. But once again, a lot of lightning. We're seeing hail, some pretty chunky hail as Vaughn reported. And once again, this area is going to move just south of Weber's Falls. It's moving east at a fairly steady rate, around 20 to 25 miles per hour. And that's going to move right toward the western end of Kerr Reservoir here pretty shortly, eventually maybe clipping the southern part of the Vian area. So it's moving kind of parallel with I-40. Right now it's about 4 to 5 miles south of I-40, moving east-northeast. As this storm, once again, has really intensified here over the past 20 to 30 minutes. So we'll continue to watch that. And once again, if you are in areas northeast of Porham, south of the Gorham-Webbers Falls area. You want to be taking your tornado precautions right now because this storm has really wound up here over the past 20 minutes and has started to show some signs that it definitely means a little bit of business, which is not what we wanted to see. I will zoom out. We're going to take a quick look at what's going on elsewhere just to show that we are watching some of the other storms. Right now, that is the only severe storm that we have. We have a strong storm located just east of Choteau. That's not severe. Also a storm that was severe just to the north of this that's moving toward Tenkiller Lake. That is weakened considerably. Right now, really the only show in town as far as a major concern is this storm that's moving into the western edge of Kerr Reservoir. It's moving just to the south of Gore and Vian eventually, and then Sallisaw kind of heads up. This will be moving generally in your direction here over the next 30 minutes or so. So once again, we'll go back to velocities. We'll see what we have here. Once again, that's basically right where Vaughn is. As he moves through here. His cell phone reception's kind of dodging in and out. As soon as he can kind of get resituated, we'll go back to him. But this storm, once again, has really wound up. Tornado warning in place here for, once again, portions of Muskogee County, right northeast of the Porham area, and that goes until 4:30 p.m. And also hail sizes could be pretty impressive as well with this. Anytime you get rotation like this, the updraft becomes quite intense. And Vaughn was right in that hail core as well. So that's the most intense part of the storm. If anything were to happen, it would be rain wraps. So once again, if you live in areas south of I-40, south of Webbers Falls, west of Kerr Reservoir, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. And if you're in Vian, McKee, Sallisaw, you need to start thinking about what you're going to do as this gets closer. As this storm has been tornado warned, they've just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning to cover this as it continues to move eastward. But right now that tornado warning does continue as the storm rolls off to the east. So it looks like Vaughn's video maybe froze up. Let's go to it real quick. We can see what we get. Vaughn, are you in a spot where you can kind of give us an update?
Yeah, I've got still got a lot of heavy rain, but I've still got really strong east winds. So this thing, I think, still has not crossed over Ross Road yet. Because I've got really strong. I had south winds just a minute ago, and these are now southeast winds. So whatever it is, it's right to my northwest. So it's yet to cross over Ross Road, but it's very, very close to Ross Road right now.
All right, I appreciate that. We'll let you concentrate on what you got going on there because that rain is quite heavy. As we go back to radar, once again, tornado warning here for a little while longer going on for far southern Muskogee County, and that is northeast of the Porham area. If you live in Carlisle, Vian, just be aware this is probably going to pass just to your south. Here's that kind of area of circulation. It looks like it might be recycling a bit as we get a little bit of a new signature forming here, just kind of due northeast of Porham. Large hail there in the areas with the pink. There's the new severe thunderstorm warning. We'll see if they continue this tornado warning as this moves kind of towards the edge of the polygon. But nonetheless, if you live around and south of I-40, due south of Webbers Falls, to the east and northeast of Porham, all the way over to Kerr Reservoir, you need to be in your shelter as we speak. And then as we move on down the line, Vian, McKee, Harrison, and eventually over towards Sallisaw, you'll want to be watching out because this is generally kind of heading in that east-northeasterly direction. It'll be moving your way here shortly. So we do have this tornado warned storm moving east. Once again, this is the only warning we have right now. We have one other severe thunderstorm warning just to the north. That was allowed to expire. This storm continues to move eastward, generally towards western areas of Kerr Reservoir, with a tornado warning and a pretty tight circulation, which we will go ahead and take another look at as that moves off to the east, once again around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Another kind of cycle through looking at the velocities. We do have maybe, once again, I mentioned that secondary feature that was starting to show up on the southern end. So this may be, once again, recycling a bit. The original circulation here, once again, is located around where Vaughn is. And it still shows up, but on the southern edge of the storm, notice we have this new area that's kind of starting to emerge. And we also kind of saw that feature on the reflectivity as well. So that's just east of Porham. and that would be moving also towards Kerr Reservoir. So as time goes on, and we want to take precautions no matter where we live east of this, this one may kind of fall off, and this other area may end up taking over as the storm kind of cycles. That's what these tend to do. They'll cycle as these move eastward, and once again, tornado warning in place, and we'll see what they do as this goes forward. But those velocities still do show a couple of spots that we have to watch out for as it moves eastward, and hopefully they'll weaken. Hopefully the things going on in this storm do allow for those signatures to kind of fall off, but we'll have to wait a little while longer to see if that happens. We do once again still have a pretty large hail core there to the northeast of Porham. It looks like they may have dropped that tornado warning. We'll stay on for just a little while longer just to make sure, and then if we have a chance to take a break and go back to programming, we will. But right now we're going to continue to treat this as if it's a serious situation, because it certainly still is. And they have canceled that tornado warning. That's good. But we're going to continue to have to watch this, because notice this area here is starting to take a little better shape. So Vaughn's area of circulation has weakened considerably. The storm's cycling. We may be getting a new one develop here basically due east of Porham, and that would be moving directly toward the western edge of Kerr Reservoir, and then on the north end of this we would have the large hail and probably still some damaging wind, lots of lightning, and extremely torrential rainfall. This is moving east. I would still, if we're in the Sallisaw area, just be aware. Make sure that you're ready to take precautions should that warning be reissued and this thing ramp back up. It's still a really, really meaty storm as it rolls eastwards. So once again, we'll zoom out. I will take kind of an overall view of what's going on. Notice some thunderstorms to the north around Veneta, Pryor, Choteau, Tahlequah. Those are not severe. They could have some gusty winds, but they are not currently severe. Also back towards Shakota, a non-severe storm. The main one that we're concerned with is this one that's generally moving towards Kerr Reservoir, towards Sallisaw, and that one is going to continue to be the one that we are kind of paying attention to. So the good news is, hopefully it stays this way. They have canceled the tornado warning. They have reissued it as a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado tag on it. So they're still saying we do have the possibility. The features are still there. They're just not quite as prevalent as they were. Vaughn, he's on the highway. He's moving along now. As soon as he gets away from the semi, we'll go back to him. I don't want to bother him while him and a semi are kind of moving by each other. But we do have this storm that's right now just south of Webbers Falls, moving east, and I think Vaughn may be ready to talk to us. Let's bring his video back up and get an update from him.
Hey, Aaron. Yeah, I'm back on I-40. I'm headed back east. I'm going to try to get this is a very difficult chase area. With Kerr Reservoir, there's really no roads, so I've got to get east and a place where I can visually see this around Bayan area. So we will get back with you as soon as I get back in position. Back to you, Aaron.
All right, I appreciate that, sir. Be safe out there. That rain is certainly difficult to drive with as you move eastward. So the good news is we still don't have a new tornado warning. We do have this storm that's still very, very strong, large hail, damaging winds, and the possibility of a tornado. But notice we have allowed the tornado warning to expire. They reissued this new warning. That's a thunderstorm warning with tornado possible. And we'll watch this once again for another 1 or 2 minutes. And if they don't put a tornado warning out, we will take a little break, go back to programming, and we'll cut in during commercials. But right now, we just want to make sure that we're in pretty good shape here. We'll look at velocities. These definitely look a little bit less organized, so that is good. But still just to the east of Porham, that's kind of the area we're concerned with now. So just so those of you that live in that area are aware, we're talking about this area right here about 5-6 miles east of Porham. That should move just north of Garland and eventually towards the western edge of Kerr Reservoir towards Red Hill, and generally stay south of I-40. So areas south of Sallisaw, kind of these communities down here, you would want to be taking your precautions as this rolls eastward. But we still do have a broad rotation signature showing up, not quite as tight as it was earlier. That is cycled out. This area is taking over. What we're going to do now is we're just going to take a quick break. We're going to come back here pretty soon, but this is winding back up, and I would not be shocked if they reissue this tornado warning. But we're going to take a quick break, kind of regroup real quick, and then we'll be right back. Keep it here. We will keep you advised.